Our doctors are doing the best they can to help him. Sure. Let's go downstairs. This is the Research and Development Lab. Our Research and Development team... the R&D lab that proceeds to say the Research and Development. Cool story, bro. Is working on tools to help combat nuclear types. You can check the progress on the hazard suit. It should be almost ready to deploy. Cool. Thanks to Professor Bambo expertise in Pokemon elements, we were able to determine why nuclear-infected Pokemon occur. Now we will use that knowledge to find a cure. Thank you. Anyway. As you know, Pokemon Rangers use capture stylers to subdue rampaging wild Pokemon. However, until recently, they didn't work on nuclear types. Now, though, we developed a new kind, which are much more effective. It won't allow the Ranger to command the nuclear Pokemon, but it will at least make them calm down and fall asleep. So, it pretty much makes them take a nap. It seems some types of Pokemon are most susceptible to being infected than others. Normal, poison, dark, and flying types are most vulnerable. Normal makes sense. It has no, natural resistances. Poison, I guess it's because they're already, toxic in a nature. And dark because they're evil, in a sense. So nuclear energy probably has, a weird interaction with them. Flying, that's very interesting. Maybe it's because it's toxic to the air, maybe? Or it travels, or nuclear radiation travels to the air, so it affects flying types easier. I don't know. Weird. Bugs are most vulnerable. Bugs, steel, and ghost types are the least. I don't think we've ever seen a nuclear in any of those typings. Bug, maybe. Maybe we've seen a bug type. But steel, I don't think so. Because early on when we first went to Lakentown to deal with, what was the route's name? To deal with the Route 11 nuclear Pokemon, the ranger said, steel types are best. And then I think it was Sheldon, I don't know, said, oh, I'm a steel gym leader, I can help. And then there's that too, right? Yeah, so that makes sense. Steel is more resistant. So the one that provided us with the tip-off about the attack was Cameron. I wonder why he acted anonymously, or why he let everyone to think he was dead. I don't think we'll get an explanation until he wakes up. True. At the power plant, we witnessed an entirely different unknown kind of Pokemon. At least we think it's a Pokemon. Its name is Uranium, and it appears to be a nuclear type. A nuclear type legendary Pokemon, and the Curie person must be its trainer. We're still trying to understand what its powers might be, or where it might have come from. If only Cameron were awake, he could give us a clue. He could. Oh, Ernest, I thought I might see you here. Good to see you, Lily. How goes the research? It's going well. We're making lots of progress on the hazard suit. The new nuclear resistance capture stylers are coming along well too, though they are more difficult to use than ordinary capture stylers. As for developing a cure for nuclear Pokemon, your notes have been very helpful. I'm happy to oblige. Xilestar, let me tell you what we discovered about the nuclear type, so you know how evolutionary stones work, yes? Yes, you click use stone on Pokemon and they evolve. Every stone emits a specific frequency of electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So with this radiation, it resonates with the Pokemon in order for them to, I don't want to say force, but it kind of just nudges them to an evolution, I guess? Weird. A Pokemon that can evolve will do so when they are exposed to a concentrated dose of that type of radiation. So it contains... How does a water stone have radiation? How do you make an electromagnetic radiation come from water? Or fire, for that matter. I mean, Thunderstone makes sense. And Sunstone, well, the sun emits radiation. Moonstone, I don't know what the moon radiates. Weird, but water is the most confusing one to me. Is it impure water? Is it pure water? I'm confused. Every element seems to be associated with a particular frequency. Now, nuclear radiation, that's at a much higher frequency. Or erratic, if you... I don't know. So what happens is getting exposed to nuclear radiation triggers a partial evolution in Pokemon. That makes sense. It's like if you've ever played the GameCube Pokemon games, it's the same thing with Shadow Pokemon, where their types, well, the difference between nuclear and Shadow is that Shadow Pokemon don't change types, but their move pools change in a different way, and they don't gain experience naturally. Trying to think of everything else. Yeah, because the Shadow type was good against every type, I think. But it was a more of a dangerous type to use moves with. So, their species doesn't change, but their coloration, moves and types do. And since their bodies aren't equipped to handle that kind of evolution, they kind of go a bit crazy. So that's why they're savage. But I think through therapy and treatment, we can cure them. Not completely. They'll still have their changed colors, but they won't disobey or attack you. Brilliant work as always, Ernest. Thanks, buddy. I try. Anything over here? Hello. We're trying to work on a way to cure this Tancoon. It seems like constant exposure to human beings has lessened its ferocity. However, its fur and saliva still contain trace amounts of radioactivity. That's right. We need to find a way to siphon off the radiation. I don't know why my character's looking like away from Bambo, like I'm not listening to you. Siphon off the radiation, and once it stops producing radioactive energy, then its cells will begin to regenerate normally. I'm sure there's a way, but none of our technologies have gotten close enough to yet. Groof. That was an out-in noise, wasn't it? There's no out in there. Hey, can we listen to it? Can we listen to its, like, does it have it? Nope. Okay. I'm putting the finishing touches on the hazard suit. It should be ready to go by next mission. I don't know what that means. I present to you the crowning achievement of months of research, the hazard suit, based on blueprints from Hoenn. This suit renders the wearer totally impervious to radiation. It also contains an air filtration system. I almost wanted to say infiltration, but that doesn't make any sense. A built-in two-way radio, and more. This is just the first prototype, of course. We hope to eventually make enough for the entire Ranger Corps. I thought he was going to say we're hoping to make it smaller and more mass-producible. But anyway, it's fine. I'm not going to go talk to everyone. Is there a wild nuclear Pokemon in here? There is! I would know what you say, buddy. Grr, snarl. Do you want to use the PST? Yes, I do. I want to know what it says. It's probably going to say kill you. Grr, rip, tear, destroy, grr. Going to kill you. Hello. I didn't want to go in here. This is an emergency room. You aren't authorized. Oh, it's Xilestar and Professor Bambo. Good timing, both of you. Kellen is awake and has been asking for you. Please follow me. I wanted to be like an entitled rich kid. Like, do you know who my father is? My father is the leader of the Rangers. Both Kelly and Cameron were exposed to a lot of radiation. Cameron's exposure was more severe and his body went into shock. As a result, right now he is out cold and we are providing him with the highest quality care. His vitals are stable, for now anyway. Okay. Oh, I was going to say nothing happened when I clicked A. Xilestar, is that you? Theo and Professor Bamble too? I'm glad you're all here. We came as quickly as we could. How are you feeling, Kellen? I'm fine. My exposure wasn't all that bad. Please try not to overexert yourself. Some radioactive air has entered your lungs. You need to keep your heart rate down. How can I remain calm when citizens and Pokemon are in danger? Listen, now that we know some more about what we are up against, I've come up with a plan. I'm now positive that this Curie person is the cause of all the meltdowns. Really? What tipped you off? The fact that it said, like, we've been taking, we want more enriched uranium? I think the person even admitted that they destroyed the other two. Because of all the meltdowns. If we can take down Curie, then the power plants will be safe and we can begin restoration. Of course, that requires us to find where Curie is hiding. Fortunately, Cameron has been helpful on that front. Dad, but he's been out cold ever since he... It seems Cam expected something like this might happen. When we brought him in, we found these documents on the inside of his jacket. He appears to have been gathering information on this Curie person and Urain for quite some time. I knew I was going to say some time. Also included was this letter. I'm sorry, Theo. I wasn't the father you needed. Oh. To Kellen and the Rangers of Tandor. You know me as Cameron Kane, engineer, private contractor, and father. However, this is not the truth about who I am. My real name is Cameron Stormbringer. Okay. He brings the storms with him. He's the reason why it's always raining. No, I'm kidding. I'm an agent of Interpol. 11 years ago, I returned to Tandor to investigate reports of dangerous and illegal experiments on Pokemon. In the process of my undercover investigation, I was discovered. And the criminal covered their tracks and fled. The only criminal that I know of is Larkspur. People died as a result. It has been my single greatest regret. After my failure, Interpol raced me into an early retirement, but I never forgot what I had discovered on that island. What island? Dad was a secret agent? Whoa, that's awesome! He was also a reserved sort of guy. Just showed up in town one day after the accident with his kid. He never really talked about who he was or where he came from. Both of you, don't interrupt me again. So Cam knew more about the explosion from 10 years ago? The one where Lucille lost her life? Well, we don't know. We don't know. There could have been like a safety bunker down there. And plus, if you remember, there was something there that said like a containment unit that lasted for like 10 years. Or something like that. It was like a pod or something like that for 10 years. That we accidentally released, probably. To where Lucille lost her life? Why did he not tell me? There's more to the letter. Why don't we just get to the end of the letter, please? Even though I was retired, I would not rest until these criminals were brought to justice. I knew that proof was still out there, so I became a contractor on the new power plant Epsilon. Using the construction of the new plant as a cover, I planned to investigate the site of the ruined plant to proof. I think you meant to put prove, not proof. Unless to find proof? I'm trying to make it make more sense, so it's either to prove, with a V, that what happened there was no accident, or to find proof, which is what it has for the spelling, that what happened there was no accident. I guess you could say it either way, but to proof doesn't make sense to me. Instead, I found something else, something far more sinister. Blueprints and diagrams that detailed the creation of an artificial Pokemon. They were trying to create a Lugia, Mewtwo of their own. I was on the verge of having everything I needed to send a report into Interpol when the unthinkable happened. A huge detonation shook the island. That was when I knew that this was far from over. Did I hear a page flip? I narrowly escaped the explosion on the back of Yatagarayu. From high in the sky, that was when I saw them. A lone figure emerged from the wreckage of the ruined plant, accompanied by a Pokemon. I recognized the mask that the figure was wearing from the diagrams I had seen. The Curry interface. The Curry interface. Interesting. So, the person adopted the name from the interface's code name, probably. Interesting. A high-tech device that was made in the labs. Its purpose appears to be some sort of mental relay. It transmits the wearer's thoughts and commands to the Pokemon. Urain. A man-made Pokemon that keeps having its page flipped. Built to be a source of unlimited energy. At its full potential, it has the power to split atoms. However, in order to reach that potential, it needs to consume a large amount of nuclear fuel. To facilitate this, it has the ability to sense radioactivity. A Geiger sense, I believe. A Geiger sense. I believe Urain was created on that island and had remained there for years, deep in slumber. It was the arrival of new uranium fuel on the island that sparked its reawakening. I don't think so. I think we awakened it. I think it was the thing that was in stasis probably for 10 years. Or whatever that 10-year counter was. I think it's like a stasis thing. I think it's to, like, tell the people, like, oh, that thing's been asleep for, like, 2 hours now already or whatever, so you can wake it up kind of thing. But instead, a person used it as a safety bunker. But then again, wouldn't radiation still go inside? I'm trying to think, though, like, would it have any cracks or, like, any kind of, like non-sealed areas where radiation could filter through? Maybe not. Maybe it's like a clean room in a sense, where, like, nothing can get in once it's been sealed. I don't know. Maybe. But Rain was not alone. This person, I have no idea who they are, or what their goals might be. They are in possession of the Curie interface, and seem to be Rain's trainer. Additionally, they seem to want to avoid being seen. They do this by utilizing Rain's teleportation power. Quantum Leap. However, each time they use this ability, a faint radioactive trace gets left behind. Following these traces, I secretly tracked them across the region for months. The fact that everybody thought I was dead made it easier to stay undercover. I can only imagine how worried Theo must be. I'm sorry, Theo, if you are actually listening to this, or reading this. But much as I care about my son, protecting Tandor is more important. He's a patriot through and through. So you just let us all think you were dead? How